The young men of the Old Christians rugby team boarded the Fairchild FH-227, their hearts brimming with the promise of adventure. They were not just a team, they were a brotherhood, bound by their love for the game and their dreams of victory. Each player carried with him the hopes of his family, friends, and an entire nation. The journey ahead was more than just a trip. It was a quest for glory, a chance to etch their names in the annals of rugby history. They were Uruguay's pride, headed to a match in Chile. The airport buzzed with excitement as they waved goodbye to their loved ones, their faces alight with anticipation. The team was a symbol of national pride, embodying the spirit of determination and resilience that defined their country. As they boarded the plane, they carried with them the dreams of an entire nation, eager to see them succeed on foreign soil. Laughter filled the cabin, mixing with the anticipation of the game ahead. The players joked and shared stories, their camaraderie evident in every smile and laugh. The atmosphere was electric, charged with the energy of youth and the thrill of the unknown. They were more than teammates, they were friends, united by a common goal and a shared dream. The air crackled with youthful energy, a potent blend of dreams and camaraderie. Each player was filled with a sense of purpose, ready to give their all for the team and their country. They were on the cusp of something great, and the excitement was palpable. The journey ahead was filled with promise, and they were eager to embrace every moment. They were ready to conquer the world, unaware that their greatest challenge awaited them not on the rugby field, but amidst the treacherous peaks of the Andes. The plane flew steadily, its passengers blissfully unaware of the danger that lay ahead. They were focused on the game, on the victory that seemed within their grasp. Little did they know, fate had other plans. The plane soared into the sky, carrying with it the hopes and aspirations of a nation. As it ascended, the landscape below began to shrink, a patchwork of greens and browns that seemed to stretch on forever. The players looked out the windows, their minds filled with thoughts of the game and the glory that awaited them. They were on top of the world, both literally and figuratively. Below, the world shrunk into a tapestry of greens and browns as the mighty Andes began to materialize on the horizon. The mountains rose up, majestic and imposing, a stark contrast to the flatlands they had left behind. The players marveled at the sight, their excitement growing with each passing moment. They were on the brink of an adventure, one that would test their limits and forge their spirits. Their snow-capped peaks, majestic and daunting, seemed to pierce the very heavens. The mountains stood as silent sentinels, their beauty masking the danger that lay within. The players were captivated by the view, unaware of the trials that awaited them. The Andes were more than just a backdrop, they were a formidable challenge, one that would push the team to their very limits. Little did the passengers know, these peaks held a cruel twist of fate in store for them. The mountains, with their rugged beauty and hidden dangers, would become the stage for a story of survival and resilience. The team, united by their love for the game and their dreams of victory, would face a challenge unlike any they had ever known. Their journey was about to take a turn, one that would test their strength, their spirit, and their will to survive. The flight was a blur of laughter, shared stories, and the comforting drone of the engines. The passengers, a mix of seasoned travelers and first-time flyers, found solace in the camaraderie that formed in the confined space. Strangers became friends as they exchanged tales of past adventures and future dreams. The hum of the engines provided a soothing backdrop to the lively conversations, creating a sense of unity among the diverse group of individuals. Hours melted away, replaced by the anticipation of their arrival. The destination, a picturesque mountain retreat, promised a break from the mundane and a chance to reconnect with nature. Passengers gazed out of the windows, their eyes filled with dreams of the adventures that awaited them. The excitement was palpable, a shared feeling of eagerness that made the journey seem shorter. Then, turbulence struck. It started subtly, a gentle rocking of the aircraft, but soon escalated into violent shudders that ran through the plane like a shockwave. The once calm and jovial atmosphere turned tense as the plane was tossed around by unseen forces. Seatbelts were fastened tighter, and hands gripped armrests with white-knuckled intensity. The laughter and chatter were replaced by nervous whispers and silent prayers. Fear crept into the hearts of the passengers, replacing their earlier joy with icy dread. Faces that had been lit with smiles now showed signs of worry and fear. The realization that they were at the mercy of the elements dawned on everyone, and a heavy silence fell over the cabin. The once comforting drone of the engines now seemed ominous, a reminder of the precarious situation they were in. The plane, caught in the grip of a mountain storm, was tossed about like a leaf in a hurricane. The winds howled outside, battering the aircraft with relentless force. The pilots fought to maintain control, their faces etched with concentration and determination. Every passenger felt the raw power of nature, a humbling reminder of their vulnerability. Desperate pleas to regain control were swallowed by the roar of the wind. The crew did their best to reassure the passengers, but their words were lost in the chaos. The plane lurched and dipped, each movement sending waves of panic through the cabin. The sense of helplessness was overwhelming as everyone clung to the hope that they would make it through the storm. Then, a deafening crash. The world turned upside down. In an instant, the plane went from a vessel of hope to a scene of devastation. The impact was jarring, a violent end to the turbulent journey. The force of the crash threw passengers against their seats, and the sound of metal tearing filled the air. Metal shrieked, luggage flew, and the screams of terrified passengers filled the air. The cabin, once a place of laughter and stories, was now a chaotic mess of debris and fear. The sheer force of the crash had torn the plane apart, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The passengers, disoriented and injured, struggled to comprehend the magnitude of what had just happened. The fuselage ruptured, ripped apart by the unforgiving mountain. The once sleek and sturdy aircraft was now a twisted wreck, scattered across the rugged terrain. The silence that followed was deafening, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded. Survivors emerged from the wreckage, their faces marked by shock and disbelief as they took in the full extent of the disaster. Silence descended, heavy and absolute, broken only by the groans of the injured and the hiss of the wind whistling through the shattered remains of the plane. The world had shrunk to a desolate landscape of snow and ice. They were stranded, high in the Andes, miles from civilization. The chilling reality of their situation settled in, a stark contrast to the warmth of their dreams just moments ago. Dazed and disoriented, the survivors crawled out of the wreckage, greeted by a scene of utter devastation. The once mighty aircraft was now a mangled carcass, its insides exposed like a wounded animal. The biting cold pierced through their thin clothing, a constant reminder of the unforgiving environment they were now at the mercy of. Fear threatened to consume them, but amidst the wreckage, the will to live flickered. The crash had left them stranded in a desolate, icy wilderness, far from any semblance of civilization. The biting cold was relentless, seeping into their bones and sapping their strength. Yet, in the face of such overwhelming adversity, a spark of hope remained. They were rugby players, trained to face adversity head-on. Their rigorous training had instilled in them a resilience and determination that now became their lifeline. They drew upon their athletic discipline, their mental toughness, and their unyielding spirit to confront the dire situation. They clung to each other for warmth, sharing meager rations and words of encouragement. In the freezing temperatures, body heat was a precious commodity, and their camaraderie became a crucial element of their survival strategy. Every shared morsel of food, every whispered word of hope, reinforced their bond and their resolve to endure. They refused to surrender to despair. Each day was a test of their endurance, a battle against the elements and their own fears. But their determination was unwavering. They knew that giving in to hopelessness would mean certain death, and so they fought on, driven by the sheer will to survive. Their survival depended on their collective strength, their unity in the face of unimaginable odds. They worked together, pooling their resources and skills, each person contributing to the group's efforts. This unity was their greatest asset, a beacon of hope in the bleak landscape. With numb fingers and heavy hearts, they salvaged what they could from the wreckage, scraps of food, clothing, anything that could offer a sliver of hope in their fight for survival. Every item they found was a potential lifeline, a small victory in their ongoing struggle against the harsh environment. The icy wind howled around them, a constant reminder of the brutal battle they faced. The snowstorms were relentless, each gust of wind a chilling reminder of their isolation and the unforgiving nature of their surroundings. Yet, they pressed on, their spirits unbroken. They knew their chances were slim, but they clung to the belief that somewhere, someone would be looking for them. Each day they scanned the horizon, hoping for a sign of rescue. Their faith in being found kept them going, a glimmer of light in the darkness of their ordeal. Days turned into weeks, each one a grueling test of their endurance. The biting cold seeped into their bones while hunger gnawed at their bellies. The meager rations they had salvaged dwindled with each passing day. They were trapped in a white wilderness, surrounded by the towering peaks that held them captive. The mountains, once a symbol of majestic beauty, had become their prison. The harsh reality of their situation forced them to make unimaginable choices. With heavy hearts, they made the agonizing decision to consume the bodies of their deceased companions. It was a decision born out of desperation, a testament to their primal instinct to survive. Their bodies grew weak, their spirits battered by the relentless onslaught of hunger, cold, and despair. Hope, like a fragile flame, flickered precariously in their hearts. A small transistor radio, salvaged from the wreckage, became their lifeline to the outside world. News reports, faint and crackling, hinted at search parties combing the mountains. Yet as days turned into weeks with no sign of rescue, their hope began to dwindle. The mountains seemed determined to keep their secrets. The weight of their ordeal bore down on them, threatening to crush their spirits. Avalanches roared down the slopes, a constant reminder of the unforgiving nature of their surroundings. Sickness spread through their ranks, claiming the lives of their weakened companions. Every sunrise brought a fresh wave of despair, a chilling reminder of their isolation and vulnerability. Faced with their own mortality, a profound pact was made. They vowed that if any of them perished, their bodies would be a testament to their collective will to survive. It was a pact forged in desperation, a grim acceptance of their circumstances, yet it also served as a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. Two of the survivors, Nando Parado and Roberto Canessa, refused to give up hope. Driven by the dwindling possibility of rescue and fueled by love for their families, they embarked on a perilous journey across the treacherous mountain range. Their bodies, ravaged by weeks of starvation and exposure, were pushed to the very limits of human endurance. After a grueling 10-day trek through the icy wilderness, their prayers were answered. They stumbled upon a Chilean shepherd, a beacon of hope in their desolate world. Their story, a testament to human resilience and the power of hope, captivated the world. Helicopters roared through the mountain passes, carrying rescuers to the crash site. The world watched in awe as the survivors, emaciated and emotionally scarred, emerged from their icy tomb. The world celebrated their miraculous survival. They returned home not as a defeated team but as symbols of courage and the indomitable spirit of man. Their story transcended the boundaries of sport, becoming a testament to the strength of the human spirit when tested against insurmountable odds. The legacy of the Andes survivors extends far beyond the rugby field. Their story is a poignant reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can flicker and ultimately guide us toward survival. They returned from the mountains forever changed, their lives indelibly marked by their ordeal. The crash of Flight 571 is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of fate. It is a story of courage, resilience, and the extraordinary lengths to which humans will go to survive. Their tale continues to inspire generations, reminding us that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, the human spirit can endure.